What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and as more information comes out about the tragedy that occurred on the set of Rust, including the sheriff and the district attorney doing a press conference where they revealed a ton of information, people are starting to kind of take camps and decide who they want to place blame on. Whether it's Alec Baldwin, the one who held the gun and pulled the trigger and was the producer for this movie and in charge of a lot of the conditions that were on set, including safety. Whether it's the assistant director who didn't check the gun like he was supposed to. He has now admitted that, and also has a previous history of being fired for unsafe weapons handling. Or is it the inexperienced armorer who clearly had no business being there and who has lied in her official affidavit about where the live rounds were being kept? But Alec Baldwin seems to be very focused on pushing all of the blame away from himself. Take a look at this story that I just saw today. Alec Baldwin posts story blaming his assistant director over fatal shooting of Helena Hutchins. Now, Alec Baldwin has not been very active on Twitter. We're not seeing all these, all the Trump derangement syndrome tweets. We're not seeing all the political garbage from Alec Baldwin. He's been relatively quiet, hasn't he? He, of course, did post this, right? Said that there are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding the tragic accident that took the life of Helena Hutchins, a wife, mother, and deeply admired colleague of ours. I'm fully cooperating with the police investigation to address how this tragedy occurred. I'm in touch with her husband, offering my support to him and his family. My heart is broken for her husband, their son, and all who knew and loved Helena. And rest in peace, Helena Hutchins. The fact that she lost her life in this tragic incident is terrible and horrible. But Alec Baldwin's doing something else on Twitter, which is trying to shift blame from himself, tweeting out articles that specifically are very much in favor of him and are placing blame in other places. Everyone else is basically remaining silent that's been involved in this, probably for good reason. The assistant director has been basically radio silent. The armor basically been radio silent, including deleting a bunch of her social media accounts. But what about Alec Baldwin? What is he posting? Alec Baldwin appears eager to shift the focus from his on-set deadly shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins onto the assistant director who handed him a gun loaded with live ammunition. The 63-year-old actor late Wednesday tweeted out a news story about AD David Hall's admission that he, quote, should have checked all of the rounds in the gun before handing it to Baldwin on the New Mexico set of Rust. The story, based on a new affidavit released that day, also stressed that Hall's apparent oversight came, quote, before he handed a revolver that he had declared cold to Alec Baldwin, meaning the weapon did not have live ammo. The Hollywood star, who is also a producer of the doomed Western, retweeted the story without any additional comments. But it is the second such story, with an earlier one stressing he was told the prop gun was safe, though cops later said the weapon held real ammo. And look at these tweets right here. This first one, October 23rd from Apple News. Alec Baldwin was told prop gun was safe before fatal shooting. And then this one here, he retweets the New York Times. Before he handed a revolver he declared cold to Alec Baldwin, Dave Halls, an assistant director, told the detective he should have inspected each round in each chamber, according to an affidavit, but he did not. Now, I understand why Alec Baldwin would be so quick to try to defend himself, so quick to try to shift the blame. However, it's a bad look. I'm going to be honest with you. It is a bad look to tweet out these articles that are clearly you trying to tell your followers to shift blame from yourself. And you can see that this article is actually getting ratioed from the New York Times. Look at this. Scottish infantry vet here. Weapon handling lesson 1. Ensure the weapon safe before handling it. Baldwin is negligent and culpable. The man who gave it to him may be held negligent. The producer that okayed live rounds on the prop may also be held negligent, which was him. Tragic situation. Now, another one, it was a revolver. How hard would it be for Alec Baldwin to flip it open, see it's empty, and close it right after the handover? Also, I thought this is standard with all gun handling. We have heard so many different stories from people in Hollywood, from people outside of Hollywood, what is supposed to be done here. It does seem, in most cases, it sounds like there are a lot of people involved in making sure that this gun does not have live ammunition, and they're proving it. They're showing people that it does not have live ammunition, including the armor, including the assistant director, including the key grip, or the person who's actually going to be holding the or aiming the camera, and the actor themselves. All get shown that it doesn't have live ammo, and it's not just simply a declaration. But again, there doesn't seem to be an industry standard that has been followed, even if there is one established, because based on who you talk to, it's very different. But Alec Baldwin is, he's doing his best to make sure all his followers know that, he wasn't to blame for this, that it's all of these people. Well, I was just told it was safe. This person said he should have checked it. I get what he's doing, but I also think it's a bad look when you're in the middle of an investigation, when you had a hand in taking someone's life and it is an active investigation. I do not think that it's a good idea for Alec Baldwin to be doing this. I think he's going to catch a lot of flack for it, and deservedly so. I think that there is so much more than just one person to blame for this. It is not just the armorer's fault. It is not just the AD's fault. It is not just Alec Baldwin's fault. It is not just Alec Baldwin as a producer's fault. There is a ton of blame and criticism to go around in this entire situation. And we're going to see what happens because, you can see here, they have said no one has been ruled out. No one has been ruled out. And when you talk about negligence, when you talk about how bad it could potentially get, yeah, there is a possibility that people get charged with involuntary manslaughter. That's a real possibility. Not just Alec Baldwin, not just Alec Baldwin producer, but the AD. There have been ADs before that spent time in jail for things that happened like this. The armorer, for sure. That armor, listen, especially because it does appear that she lied in her statement, or at least was incorrect in her statement about live ammunition and where it was being kept. There's going to be a lot coming out about this in the next 6 to 10 weeks. That's going to be my guess. 6 to 10 weeks before we really get any clarification on what they decide to do based on a lot of things, including coroner's report, all these different things. Watching the press conference with the DA and the sheriff, listen, the sheriff, he's exactly what the sheriff's supposed to be. He's kind of no nonsense, going through the facts, getting through the facts, talking about how much ammunition was on set. 500 rounds in some way, shape, or form, whether they were dummies or blanks or live rounds. They didn't give a breakdown of exactly what it is. They're waiting for the FBI to give them that. But they did indeed verify that it was a live round. He didn't specifically want to call it that, but based on the information, they recovered lead, right? They recovered lead fragments. They recovered a lead bullet from the director. So yeah, absolutely, it was a live round. And the more that comes out about this, the more culpable certain people look. And Alec Baldwin is doing his best to deflect everything, all of the criticism, all of the blame away from himself during this active investigation, all for PR. That's really what it is. It's all for PR purposes, sharing these articles out there that are blaming other people. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I think that it's a bad look. I think it's a little bit disrespectful to Helena's family. The fact that Alex says, oh, I'm hurting with them, I'm supporting them, yet he's tweeting out all these things trying to blame everybody else for what happened. I don't know. I don't like it. What do you guys think? Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.